All right, y'all. We on day 11 of the trial of Chad Daybell trial. And I hope y'all enjoy it, and we'll break it down as we go, okay?
So we know a device associated with Alex Cox is there from 10:07 to 10:45 p.m. Is that correct?
Correct.
And from there, we're not sure where the device is.
Correct.
Until 11:53 p.m.
Correct.
And at 11:53 p.m., can you remind us again where that's located?
It was located about 7 miles south of the Salem Church on Highway 20.
Through your investigation, did you learn who the last person besides Chad Daybell to see Tammy would have been?
Why is he on the computer?
And through your investigation, did you learn where Garth Daybell was on the night of October 18th of 2019? October 18th of 2019?
He was at work.
Through your investigation, did you learn if he was at work all night?
I believe he got off around 1 o'clock in the morning.
Do you know where he was working?
At that time, he was working at the Haunted Mill.
And what is the Haunted Mill?
It's October. The Haunted Mill is a haunted, scary attraction.
Scary attraction.
And it's seasonal?
Seasonal, yes.
When you looked at that geofence, did you get any return on a device associated with Chad Daybell?
No.
Not at either location?
No.
Did you later learn where Chad had indicated he was on October 18th into the morning hours of October 19th?
From other deputies' reports, he had told them that he had been home.
And yet no device was located in relation to Chad Daybell?
Correct.
Chad, you think you getting out of this, don't you?
So in your review, there's location data placing a device associated with Alex Cox near the Daybell residence on October 9th of 2019, correct?
Yes.
And on the night of October 18th of 2019?
Yes.
Were you able to find any connection between Alex Cox and Tammy Daybell?
No.
Sound like a robot.
Were you able to determine who Alex Cox knew in that area?
At that time, no. The only person that I was aware of would be Chad Daybell.
Why is he on the computer? I don't understand it.
Through your investigation,
Trying to set him
did
up.
you become aware of some emails from Charles Vallow that he'd sent to an email that he sent to Tammy Daybell?
Yes.
Did you also become aware of an email Charles Vallow sent to Chad Daybell?
Yes.
Do you recall what the content or what the gist of the email that he sent to Tammy was about?
The email that was sent to Tammy was on June 29th, 2019. And Charles was reaching out to her school address, email address, and telling her that he had some information about an affair going on. He didn't go into too much detail because he didn't want to explain all that over email, and left Tammy his number to have Tammy call him.
And through your investigation, were you ever able to determine whether or not Tammy Daybell had contact with Charles Vallow?
I was not able to confirm that.
And in relation to the email Charles sent to Chad Daybell, do you recall the gist or content of that?
Yes.
And what was that about?
So Charles sent, on the same day, an email to Chad, telling Chad that he was aware of what was going on between him and his wife. And Chad needed to tell his wife, or Charles was going to expose them.
Woo!
He was also aware that Lori had sent him some dance videos of her.
What?
And that was inappropriate.
Adultery.
Through your investigation, did you learn whether Chad and Lori were married?
Yes.
And what did you learn?
I learned that they got married November 5th, 2019.
And again, Tammy Daybell was pronounced dead on October 19th of 2019.
What?
Yes.
Do you know when her funeral was?
October 22nd, 2019.
And they got married?
Yes.
Oh, that's low down. You married. Oh, we Lord, right after your wife died.
And I have no further questions.
Oh,
Thank you,
we.
Ms. Blake.
Ain't that something, y'all?
Cross-examination. Judge, would you like me to start or do you want to take a break? Why don't you go ahead and start and we'll take a break here in about 20 minutes or so, if that works.
And let the judge run the courtroom, and you be the defendant, Lord attorney. Y'all always telling the judge what to do. Do your job. Jesus. So many chiefs and no Indian. I'm an Indian. Oh, he married her right after his wife buried. That's sad. You'll be ashamed of yourself. I'm done with you. Wow. Got rid of your wife.
Officer, I'm going to... Can we have the microphone, please?
Officer, if you would allow me to either call you Officer K or I'm going to mispronounce your name for the next 20, 25 minutes.
That Officer K is okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, Officer, you took the liberty of find this. Going through talking about your report
Come on.
about the emails between Mark Daybell and Tammy. Is that right?
Yes.
And Judge, I believe that was Exhibit 291. And if I could have 291.
Yes, we'll have the bailiff hand that to you or to the witness, Mr. Pryor.
Okay.
Which?
Just to me. And Judge, if I could have permission to just publish.
He
You
doing
may publish that.
Here we go, y'all. Shout out to Law and Crime.
And Officer, if you could tell me the date of that email.
10/13/2019.
Okay. And then that was obviously Dear Markey. That would be Tammy's son.
Yes.
Okay.
Can't see it.
In the very first sentence, it said, on Wednesday during the day, a lady pulled into Price's driveway, grabbed their dog, and drove off, right?
Yes.
And then she went on to talk about what transpired about that and about where they tried to locate where the lady lived. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Now, from your investigation, were you able to determine where Regan Price lives?
Yes.
Where's Regan Price live?
Regan Price lives directly south of Chad Daybell's house.
Okay, and then that would be directly east of Joe Murray's house.
Correct.
Yes. So if we have if we can visualize this, we have Chad Daybell's property, and approximately how big is Chad Daybell's property? Do you know?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, it's a more than an acre.
Yes.
Okay, and directly across the street from Chad Daybell's property is another house, correct?
Yes.
And then kitty corner to the south and to the west would be Joe Murray, right?
Yes.
And directly southeast of Chad's property would be Regan Price. Would that be fair?
Yes.
Okay, so 4 houses all kitty corner from each other, and this is a more of a rural setting. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And the house, when Officer Coulter was on the stand, I had spoken to him about the fact that in his report he didn't mention anything about a bipolar teenager running around the neighborhood harassing people. Were you aware of that at the time of this offense?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
Overruled.
Were you aware of the fact that there was a bipolar teenager running around the neighborhood?
He didn't
Maybe,
kill Tammy.
I want to be careful with my words. Contacting the people in these neighborhoods?
I was not.
Okay. And are you aware whether or not you ever discussed that with Officer Coulter?
I can't recall if I did or not.
Okay. Did you discuss that with any of the other officers who were there at the time of this paintball incident about this bipolar teenager?
I did not.
Okay. Then we go on and we talk about his theory his theory is that the crazy dog lady brought her husband back to steal the dog again. They had parked on the road and had snuck through the cow fields, and he was going to cut through our front yard. So that's a couple of things. Parked on the road, cut through the cow fields. Is that the Daybell's cow fields?
I can't testify if that's what she's referring to.
Okay.
There are a couple others out there.
Yeah, but there are cow fields next door to the Daybells. The Daybells have a pasture behind their property as well, correct?
Yes.
And then they said they were going to cut through
Ooh.
our front yard. So that would mean Chad and Tammy's front yard, correct?
Yes.
When I pulled up and startled him, he didn't know what to do, so he panicked and tried to menace me with his not real gun. So at that point, she's pretty clear that she knows it's a not real gun. Would you disagree with that?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation as to what Tammy knew.
Not real gun.
Well, she put in a,
Objection, Your Honor, narrative.
Yeah, Mr. Pryor, I ruled on it.
Okay.
So I'll ask you a different question.
okay. So after the line that says it was a not real gun and then ran off back across the field, which would explain why he ran across the side of the house. I never heard a car and we couldn't find anywhere. You see that?
Yes.
And then she wrote, it's actually a pretty good theory. You see that?
Yes.
Did you guys interview Regan Price?
We spoke with Regan Price, yes.
Okay. Did you talk to Matt Price?
Yes.
Okay. And did they confirm the fact that someone stole their dog around the close in time to this occurrence?
What they got to do
I'd
with
have to go
this?
back to my report. I know we
What they
spoke
got
with
to do with
them
what he did to
after
Tammy?
this incident, quite a ways after this.
Okay. But you do know that this incident with the dog, I believe it occurred on the same day that the paintball gun took place. Is that right?
Yes.
And the issues about the bipolar teenager running around the neighborhood, that was close in time as well, correct?
That was Matt's theory, yes.
Okay. And then finally, honestly, would you read the word honestly down to the end of the paragraph?
Honestly, I just kept wondering what kind of person walks around with a ski mask on, carrying an empty paintball gun. Bipolar doesn't mean you want to hurt people, so I'm leaning more towards Matt's theory. The guy didn't try to rob me or even really hurt me.
Chad,
Thursday
it was
night,
you,
though,
Chad.
I didn't go to Zumba because I quite understandably did not want to be out after dark alone.
So in this particular incident, it's saying that I'm leaning towards Matt's theory. The guy didn't try to rob me, or the guy didn't try to hurt me. So she wasn't threatened by someone holding a paintball gun like a rifle, right?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation and mischaracterizes this email.
Sustained.
And Judge, I need to go back to
You're not getting away, Chad. Sorry. It was you. You know who did it. You had somebody to do it. Because you knew your wife knew who you are. Chad.
I'd like to go back to 232B, and I'd like to republish that for the jury, Judge.
All right, we'll have the bailiff provide that to you, Mr. Pryor.
And Judge, if we could just wait till I get it brought up.
Y'all, they not fixing this statement where y'all can see what it says. So that the copy is not going to be clear.
I think I'm ready, Judge. Let's hope.
All right, you may.
Yeah, that's 20 seconds.
3 Mark, County Sheriff's Office. Hi, I need to report something. Okay, go ahead. What's the address? Okay, it's 202 North, 1900 East, the corner with the blinking yellow light on Salem Highway. Is it a suspicious person? Yes. Okay, what was he wearing? He was all dressed in black, and he had a ski mask on. And he's at the blinking light now is where you saw him? No, he's gone now, because I pulled up into our driveway, and I was getting stuff out of the back seat of my car, and suddenly he was there, and he had a paintball gun, and he was, and like he was going to shoot at me. And I kept asking him what he was doing because I could tell it was a paintball thing. Okay. And then he just kept doing it, so I yelled for my husband, and then he took off running around the back of my house. Okay, give me just 1 minute. Stay on the line with me. Okay.
Chad knew exactly who they was.
October 9, 2019. 21 hours, 50 minutes, 28 seconds.
That was North 1900. Yes. Okay.
October 9, 2019. 21 hours, 50 minutes, 43 seconds.
In what direction he was going? He went behind my house, and it's so dark out here, and I just went in the house and got my husband and son, and then they went out and looked, and he was long gone by then. Okay. So he was on the north side of my house, is where he went to get away. Okay. He didn't say anything, or he just kept like he was holding the gun like he was, had a rifle and just shooting at me. So, but nothing came out of the gun either, so I don't think it was loaded.
He didn't want to do nothing to you.
Okay, and what is your name? My name is Tammy Daybell. Okay, I will pass your information on to my deputies. We actually just had a previous call about this individual, so they're out in the area looking now. Okay, yeah, I think it was my son-in-law who lives diagonal from us that called you guys already. Oh, so okay. I just wanted to make sure it got reported. So, let's see. And what's your son-in-law's name? Is it Joseph Murray? Okay, yep, it was him. Okay. So, all right, I have a deputy that will be out at your home here shortly. Okay, thank you. Yep.
At some point, Judge, I'm also going to need 232.
Into the microphone, please, Mr. Pryor.
I'm also going to need 232A at some point, but I'd like to discuss 232B. You listened carefully to the 911 call from Tammy Daybell, is that right?
Yes.
Now, she said paintball a number of times during that 911 call, correct?
A couple times, yes.
And then at the end, she said, holding the gun like he was holding a rifle. She never said he was holding a rifle, did she?
I think you just stated it. He was holding a gun like the rifle.
She never said she was holding a rifle, did she?
Objection, Your Honor. The audio speaks for itself.
Sustained.
Okay. There was no discussion about a specific rifle. Was it not the manner in which the gun was being held? That was what we heard?
There's no specific rifle that she named, no.
Okay.
There was no specific rifle that she named.
Okay. Well, she didn't even say it was a rifle, did she?
She said a gun and a rifle.
Well, she said a gun holding like a rifle. Isn't that what she said?
Objection, Your Honor. Again, the audio speaks for itself.
Sustained.
Judge, I should be allowed to go into whether or not the manner in which...
Then replay that section, Mr. Pryor, if you want to make it clear, but to just keep asking on the audio we just listened to is improper.
Bailiff, could I have 232 again, please?
That's right, Judge. I'd like you. They need to put you in Young Thug, okay? He asked the same question.
I think I want A. Thank you.
Want to argue.
So, Judge, again, we'll ask to publish 232A again.
I believe we just published 232B.
I like that,
Backwards,
Judge.
excuse me.
Okay.
I apologize.
Come on now. Keep on apologizing and stuff. Go ahead on. Let's get with it.
I think I'm ready, Judge.
Go ahead.
Second.
Remark, County Sheriff's Office. Hi, I need to report something. Okay, go ahead. What's the address? Okay, at 202 North, 1900 East, the corner with the blinking yellow light on Salem Highway.
Is it a suspicious person?
Yes.
Okay, what was he wearing?
He was all dressed in black and he had a ski mask on.
And he said the blinking light now is where you saw him?
No, he's gone now because I pulled up into our driveway and I was getting stuff out of the back seat of my car and suddenly he was there and he had a paintball gun and he was and like he was going to shoot at me. And I kept asking him what he was doing so I could tell it was a paintball thing.
Okay.
And then he just kept doing it, so I yelled for my husband, and then he took off running around the back of my house.
Okay, give me just 1 minute. Stay on the line with me.
Okay.
October 9, 2019, 21 hours, 50 minutes, 28 seconds.
And that was North 1900 East?
Yes.
Okay.
October 9, 2019, 21 hours, 50 minutes, 43 seconds.
You know what direction he was going?
He went behind my house, and it's so dark out here, and I just went in the house and got my husband and son, and then they went out and looked, and he was long gone by then.
Okay.
So he was on the north side of my house, is where he went to get away.
Okay.
He didn't say anything, or he just kept like he was holding the gun like he was, had a rifle and just shooting at me. So, but nothing came out of the gun either, so I don't think it was loaded.
He had a gun, but it
Okay, and
was
what is your name, ma'am?
like a rifle.
My name is Tammy Daybell.
Okay, I will pass your information on to my deputies. We actually just had a previous call about this individual, so they're out in the area looking now.
Okay, yeah, I think it was my son-in-law who lives diagonal from us that called you guys already.
Oh,
So I
okay.
just wanted to make sure it got reported.
That's your wife.
Let's see, and what's your son-in-law's name?
Joseph Murray.
Okay, yep, it was him.
Okay.
So, all right, I have a deputy that will be out at your home here shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Look at Chad. Player. She had to know exactly what was going on.
But we can agree then that the 911 call would speak for itself, right?
Correct. Having a rifle and shooting at her.
Having a rifle and shooting at her.
Having a rifle and pointing at her.
Is that what you heard?
Yes.
Okay, but I guess we can let the jury make a determination about what they heard, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we previously talked to, and Judge, I'm asked to publish 14A.
All right, do you have that with you?
I do, when it's already been admitted and accepted.
Okay, 14A may be published.
Officer, you're looking at what's been marked as Exhibit 14A, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's a big black round thing on the top of that gun. Do you know what that is?
That's a hopper.
Okay, and it's pretty distinct, right?
Yes.
Pretty clear to identify that it's a hopper on the top of a paintball gun, correct?
Yes.
So if someone is in a situation where they're looking at something and they're clearly able to determine that there's a hopper on the gun, this would be a situation where they'd be able to clearly see that there's a hopper, correct?
If they're clearly able to see that, then yes.
Okay. So if someone through their testimony talks about being able to clearly see that there's a hopper on a gun, that's a distinguishing fact, that's a distinguishing feature of a paintball gun. Is that correct?
If they clearly see it, yes.
Yeah, and if they're able to identify the fact that a particular paintball gun has a hopper, and they can identify the hopper, it's obviously they saw a hopper, right?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Okay. But you spoke about it a little earlier where you said they're now designing paintball guns that look like rifles.
Yes.
And they're being very creative in doing that, correct?
Yes.
In fact, I would suggest to you that there are instances where people have manufactured paintball guns to make the scopes on a gun look like a hopper. Correct?
Are you suggesting that to me or asking?
Yeah, I'm suggesting that, asking you that.
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay. So if that were one of those special guns where they created a gun that had something on it that looked like a scope, someone could confuse the difference between a scope and a hopper, right?
Yes.
But if someone specifically says they saw a hopper on a gun, there's no
Objection, Your Honor, this is going to call for speculation.
Sustained.
clearly that was a picture of a hopper on the gun, right?
During the day, yes.
Yeah, and you're able to distinguish that very clearly, right?
In the daylight, yes.
Oh, you telling me that there's a difference? You wouldn't be able to tell that in the night on
No.
the back of a porch with a light on?
Objection, Your Honor, argumentative.
Sustained. And strike the answer.
Are you aware that there are lights on the front of the garage of the Daybell residence?
I was aware on that last call you played that Tammy Daybell said it was dark outside.
Right. But you didn't hear anything about the fact that there were lights out there or that the garage and the driveway was illuminated, right?
I didn't hear any of that.
Okay. I didn't know if I heard an objection or not, Judge, to that.
Withdrawn.
Go ahead.
Okay. But you did note that she identified it as a paintball gun, didn't she?
She used that with the rifle and gun.
Okay. And whooshing sound, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, Judge, I believe that Exhibit 16 was previously admitted. If I could have the bailiff bring me Exhibit 16. And Judge, if I could just have a moment, please.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. was able to drive. Is that what this is about?
That's what she's emailing Mark, yes.
And was there any indication that prior to that time she didn't drive or that she was concerned about driving?
Long distances, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, and this again touches on, I think we talked about this previously about the Wednesday during the day with Reagan Price and the person who took her dog.
This
And that
is
leads
day
into what we
11
originally
of Chad
started with this.
Daybell
Would that be
trial.
fair?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then there's one final email that talks about Matt Price sending audiobooks for Tammy to listen to, right?
Yes.
And that was for her trip?
Tammy sent those, I believe, to Matt Price with codes to get into the audio book.
That's right. I'm sorry. You're right. Okay, thank you. And if I could just have a minute, Judge, thank you.
You man.
Those who just tuning in, this is Doomsday's Cult Prophet Murder Trial. Idaho versus Chad Daybell, day 11. Y'all make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers and my new people who joined the channel. And thank you for the super chat.
One last area. On the day that you got the call about Tammy's death, you received a call from who again? I'm sorry.
I missed a call from Deputy Greenhalgh.
Okay, but then you said something about you followed up with it later and did have a discussion, or my notes not accurately reflecting?
So I missed that call and called her back about an hour and a half later.
Okay.
And spoke with her on that, yes.
And then she recited the facts about what she observed. Is that right?
She informed me that she was on an unattended death. I went through and asked her if there was anything out of the ordinary, anything suspicious, and she told me there was not.
Okay, so according to Officer Greenell, there was nothing suspicious. Is that right?
That's what she told me, yes.
Okay, and then according to, did you have a chance to look at Brenda Dye's report as a result of this investigation?
Not the AG's report, no.
I'm not talking the AG's report. I'm talking about Brenda Dye's diagram and report about this unattended death.
I did not.
Okay. So from your perspective, when Officer Greenall contacted you and advised that there was nothing suspicious about the death, at that point, it did not require you to take any further action. Would that be fair?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Judge, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.